Most powerful videos I think I've ever seen attempting to raise the awareness of the crisis going on in Syria in terms of the refugees that were fleeing the war depicted a little girl basically going through a daily life. It was her birthday, and she's on her way to a birthday party, and all of a sudden bombs start falling around her. And it's actually set up as if it were happening in the UK or the United States. She's a little white girl and nice little modern family and modern lifestyle. It wasn't set in this far away, dirty Middle East kind of thing that most people seem to think about. When you hear about the war in Syria, you don't think about everyday families. You don't think about a westernized family. You don't think about modern conveniences. You think about ancient places and warfare and dirt. And anyway, the point of this video, it shows the little girl as she is basically going from happy to just scared out of her mind, crying for her dad, being whisked from place to place by her parents as they're trying to flee. And then it covers over the course of a year, basically just a little snippet here, a little snippet there of her life, as she goes from being this happy, normal-looking girl to being this haggard, scared little refugee. And it comes around to her birthday again at the end, and there's just a much more simplified celebration of her birthday that happens at the end of this video. The reason I mention this is that I think it might be wise to consider what you might do if war comes to the United States or to Western Europe, as I think it may be coming. And I'm not talking about just some kind of a nuclear strike. I'm talking about actual sustained warfare. The reason why I suggest this as a possibility, not in terms of some other country invading us necessarily, but in terms of the possibility of an uptick in terrorist attacks, the possibility of some kind of a civil war breaking out, I'm looking at all of the different possibilities that are out there. And instead of just saying, oh, that's a conspiracy theory, I think that it would be wise to think about, are you prepared to lead your family through a wartime situation? Do you have a plan for where you would meet if something happened? And all of a sudden, say you're out to dinner somewhere and all the lights go out and you hear bombs dropping in the background. Do you have a plan of where you'd get your family together if it happens during the school day or whatever else? You might want to think about that. And I don't mean it in terms of sharing it with your kids and getting them all scared, but just in the same way that you should have a emergency plan in case of an earthquake or in the case of a power outage. Just add warfare as one of the things that you just are prepared for mentally. Because here's what happens. You see, if you go through the mental exercise beforehand, you're not going to be one of those people that freaks out and panics and goes running and asking for somebody else, please take care of me. Now, I'm not saying you won't end up being a refugee. We all might be. And I think it's worthwhile considering, especially if fleeing is the better option to keeping your family alive. So, I'm just throwing that out there, some food for thought. Have you considered a plan of action just in case we end up going total war here in the United States? Something to think about? Please engage me on the topic by sending me an email, steve@radiofreespeech.com. Thanks.